Ready to do this?
Showtime, prime time.
Let's do it.
Hey, welcome back to the Made to Maximize podcast. This is where we help you make the most out of your money, your mindset, and your management.
So today we're going to be talking about a hot topic, okay? So I feel like in this era of entrepreneurship and business, people want to do far less, and they want to make the most of the effort that they have, okay?
They want to maximize.
They want to maximize. So we're going to talk about how to maximize your impact with minimal effort.
Yes.
Okay?
Let's dive in.
So let's dive in. Why do you feel like people are getting to this stage in business where they want to do less?
Oh, AI, automation. You tell me I can click a button, everything's done? Everything's done?
Right.
Yeah. I think that's what it is when you start seeing that systems are selling and systems are leading people to success, people want to plug. And if you can plug it in and it works and it pays, sign me up. But what they don't recognize is you have to plug up the right thing in the right place, the right way for the right people so that they can pay. Because you can plug something in that somebody ain't trying to pay for and you still broke.
Yeah.
So we just got to get it organized. So I think people have been sold the dream of, oh, AI is going to fix everything. And AI is a tool. That's just like saying a hammer is going to fix everything.
It's going to build my house. That hammer is not going to build your house.
It's going to be used as a part of building your house.
Right.
But it won't do it by itself, right?
Yeah, I think you touched on really the hot topics of this minimal effort era.
Yeah.
Is systems and AI. And I think that we've gotten to a place where we want it so much, but we don't want to work for it. And so we don't know enough about our business, how to serve our clientele well. We're testing out things all the time and hoping that AI can fix all of our problems when the best way to really optimize the use of systems and AI is knowing your voice, vision, or values, or being clear on who you are as a company, what you want to deliver, what your actual steps are in order to deliver said product or service. I think sometimes a lot of people, I feel like we came from the era of you better make sure you have your SOP. You got to have your SOP written down, right? And it was before AI was there. And so we literally had to manually make these. So we literally had to manually go into Google Docs and try to write out all of our processes, or we had our admin person, hey, that's a part of our SOP. Make sure you write that down. Oh my gosh, AI would have saved us so much time. Right. But at the end of the day, I think it was beautiful for us to be like, wow, this is our process, because sometimes it wasn't documented. And we can ask AI from the process that we have been doing, how can this become better? Where can we utilize automations? But it didn't start until we actually did the work.
Yeah. And I think the part that it makes me really think of is understanding your business is most important. Understanding AI is secondary.
Yeah.
Because if you learn a new tool like AI and you don't know your business, you don't know where to plug it in. You don't know where to apply it, right? So if we do an in-depth study of our business, as you mentioned, our voice, our vision, our values, our systems, and our processes, this is how you know where to plug in the new tools. For an example, if I want to supercharge a car, I'm not just going to say, oh, I'm going to buy a new engine. I need to find out if the engine I'm buying fits in my vehicle. Is it a V8 like I have a V8? Is it going to have better outputs? Is it going to have this? Is it going to have that? Do I need to change my tires too? Like there's so many pieces of this equation. It's just not, oh, let's just do an engine swap. It's not that easy. So a lot of times when people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to plug this in, it's going to change everything. We need to make sure it's compatible first. It's almost like doing a blood transfusion. You can get all the new blood you want. If it's not your blood type, you'll still die.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to have the right tool in the right vehicle at the right time. And that's how you're going to leverage. And we can get more into the things as we go.
I also want to mention the importance of data and metrics. I think the issue of AI is that it increases our optionality, right? So now we have all these options to choose from. And now we get to a place of decision fatigue, or we're always trying to test new things, always trying to do new things. When you have done the thing already, you can measure, you can measure what has worked, and you can ask AI how to optimize the thing that already works versus trying to find all all these new ways to do things, because you are going to actually burn yourself out. Trying to learn all of the AI tools and how to, maximize your business with all these different platforms. You don't even have time. You don't have time to learn all these things. Now, you should, depending on whatever work it is that you're focused on, but we're talking about founders and business owners, and really it should be for your team to find tools that will help them. But I think that the biggest thing is that you need to know your business and what is already working. Do you know the DNA of who you already are? And you go from there. Stop trying to be every other business out here.
And I love that, because one thing we often say is it doesn't take a wild recipe for wild results. And this makes me think of one of our clients that has a bakery shop. And she had 2 large orders. One order was a 17,000 order of cake pops. So $17,000 order. That's a decent sized cake pop order. It was for this large organization. And then she had another order which was like $44,000, which is for cups, cupcakes, cookies, all these different things. And she was like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I said, oh yeah, we'll help you with your marketing, we'll help you with the photo, video, drone, all the things. And we started getting into strategy. She's like, oh, I love this, I love that. And she was like, now, how is that going to help us make more money? So we started walking through it. I said, now, you got to recognize all these things are phase 2.
Yeah.
The first thing we need to do is honor what's already worked.
Mm-hmm.
And the question I asked was this: that person that ordered the $17,000 of cake pops, did you ever send them a thank you? Did you ever follow up with them? She said no. I said, the $44,000 order with the cakes, the cookies, and the cupcakes, all the things, did you ever send a thank you? Did you ever follow up with them? She said, no, I never thought about that. I said, do you know how many referrals are right there just from a genuine connection? You don't need AI for that. If you add AI to this mix right now, you're stuck. Because what's already working well, you haven't even taken the time to look at it and mature what's easy. Right? So you adding AI goes to your point. It's so much optionality. Now you're really getting off track, because you're adding new things when you have something that works really well. If you get 3 of these orders a month, 3 $17,000 orders a month, if you get 3 $44,000 orders a quarter, you know what I mean? Or a year, you doubled your business, but you haven't talked to that person in 6 months.
Yeah. That's so good. And I think it goes to the next question that I had is, where should our founders start if they're trying to maximize their impact and not increase their efforts?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we talk about the 80-20 rule. So oftentimes 20% of your team members could be doing 80% of the most profitable work. You can look at your clients, or you can look at your team members in that regard, but you can look at the 20% of the things that are working well, and how can you increase that. So what are some other ways you feel like a founder could start in their efforts of minimizing their efforts and maximizing their impact?
I would say it would be 2 things. One is our 4 quadrants. You know how we have the top left is like things I love to do, I'm great at, things that I like to do that I'm good at, things that I don't necessarily like to do, but I don't like to do it, but I'm good at, and things that I hate to do and I suck at, right? So number 1 thing is delegation. If I can delegate the things that I'm not good at and I don't like to do, but somebody else loves, that's a great way to get leverage so you can get more result with less energy and effort.
Yeah.
But 2 is really right sizing the things that you love to do. If I love to do it and it's profitable for my business, lean in there.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's so many things that we love to do. It's like, ooh, I want to take the discovery call, or I want to be at this meeting. But it's like, hey, you showing up to that meeting doesn't make you a dime. But if you take that same 30 minutes, the same hour to go sit in the room down the hall, you're going to make an extra $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Skip that meeting, assign someone to that meeting, and go to the one that's going to make you some more money. Even though you love both, you have to choose what you love and what's profitable, and we can dive more in.
Yeah. And I think that it requires a level of humility as a founder to say that, oh, I guess I don't have to be a part of everything for things to work. Sometimes your hand in it is probably stopping the flow sometimes. Sometimes you are literally hindering the success and just really seeing the gifts and talents of your actual team members, because you're always in the way. And so sometimes it's good to just get out of the way and focus focus on what you're best at. I know delegation naturally is not my go-to thing. It's not something that I always enjoy in times past because I'm naturally a doer. That's my communication language. I think and do. I think in to-do lists.
Yes.
Like that's who I am. I got to put my hands on it. And when I realized, do. That's crazy.
It just came to my mind.
That's crazy. But when I realized that I didn't have to do everything, it was like, okay, Kiara, take a step back. Mm-hmm. Can someone else do that? Do they enjoy doing it? Whether they enjoy it or not, is it something that is profitable for your experience, for your company right now? And the answer a lot of times was, no, it's not profitable for me because no one else can do the things that you can do as a founder. No one else can be the visionary that needs to be strategic about where we're going in our next steps, but people can do the job if you train them well.
Right.
And I think training, honestly, is one of the things that changed the game for us when I was operating as a social media manager within Made to Maximize. I was doing all the things I call myself the do girl. And I was tired of that. But we got an intern and I trained her on how to manage social media, how to create the captions, how to create the content. And it was so relieving and refreshing for me to be able to step back and say, hey, my efforts and my training got me to a place where it eliminated like 60% of my work.
Right. 80.
That was
it
wild.
80, I remember. And she went from intern to actually getting paid and all the things. And it was a beautiful transition. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, wow, I actually have time to do other things, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
It just really makes me think about sometimes when you take a break and you find out how much of a bottleneck you could potentially be. Mm-hmm. And over the last couple of weeks, I've talked to 3 different clients that have taken sabbaticals. And each one is totally different walks of life. Some of them are in finance. Some of them are in business. All of them are in business. But finance, legal, medical, like just different things, right? Yeah. And one of them was like, hey, we did an analysis of our past performance. We looked at our T12, which is your trailing 12 months. So the last 12 months, and T36, which is the last 36 months. And they're like, hey, I noticed that the months I was gone, we made the most sales. We were the most productive and profitable. And it's like, I came back to the office and I found out I'm the bottleneck. I'm like, okay, well, if you found out that you being gone makes the whole company more money, see you later. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm like, dang, I graduated.
Yes,
I'm grateful.
like that's great. But sometimes that detachment is like, to your point, it's like sometimes you feel like you're missing out, or it's heart-wrenching to recognize that, hey, I don't have to be at that meeting. I don't have to do this. And to recognize some things are better off without you. Yeah. And it's hard to think that way when this was birthed from you. You built this, you created this. And like, for an example, right now, we have one of our team members that everybody loves. His name is Santa. Shout out to Santa.
Shout out to Santa.
And I got a call from somebody the other day. It was so funny. They're like, hello, can I speak to Santa? So I answered the call and I'm like, he's out of the office right now. He's doing X, Y, and Z. How can I help? That's like, oh yeah, we got his card. We want to do this, this, and this. And we got a lot of referrals for Santa. And we just wanted to see if he can do this and do that. And they had no clue who I was, right? Now, mind you, I can answer the question. I can solve the problem. But they don't know anything about Jerred. They know Santa and they love Santa and they request Santa by name. And it's the coolest thing in the world. But at first I was like, hold up now. This was years ago. I'm like, hold on. Like, do you want to talk to him or you want to talk to me? I think you want to talk to me. Right? But then it's like, you know what? Let the business grow. And there's so many situations I don't have to touch. I don't have to move on because I can trust him.
Yeah.
And when he shows up, he does it the Made to Maximize way. And the Made to Maximize way has its own spin on it. That's super profitable, super enjoyable, and everybody loves. Yeah. So guess what? Santa's coming to town.
Hilarious. So to your point of relinquishing that control, sometimes that is the maximum impact with the minimal effort that you need to contribute to the company. It's actually taking your hands off. And that is very hard for a lot of our founders. But if it's making the impact that you're desiring, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it scared, do it insecure, do it shaking. But if you already see the results that are happening, just do it.
Right.
Yeah. So another question I have for you as we round out this episode is, why do you feel like founders tend to add instead of refine in their business?
Sometimes adding, you can immediately see the change, right? If I'm a plumber and I have 7 trucks and we have plumber clients, he has 7 trucks. If he adds an 8th truck, he's like, oh, that's going to be another driver, more jobs, more this, more that. That is true, right? But efficiency on the existing 7 trucks before adding number 8, you don't always recognize that efficiency could be like, hey, give them better tools, have better tracking, have better this, have better that. And one example of that was my time working for the county government years ago. We used to have so many ambulances that we had to manage. And at one location, let's say you have 20, 30 ambulances. And a lot of time we're like, oh, we need to add more trucks so we can get out faster. But what we found out, and this was something I helped them do, was we needed the tools closer to the bay. So when you do come and we do change out the equipment, we do put the new supplies on, it doesn't take as much time. So we didn't need more trucks. We needed more efficient systems, internal refining, right? So a lot of times when we see a new truck, it's like, oh, we're going to get more work done. And it's true. But if work is still slow in how you transact on that truck, you're just doing the same amount of work with a new vehicle, but not any faster.
Yeah. Okay. That was so good, Jerred.
Do you really think that was good? Or you just being my wife right now?
No, I do think that's good, because I think a lot of times sometimes we think more is better when sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
And I think it's just our natural thing to add, because we think, ooh, I buy more things, I buy new houses, I buy more clothes. This is going to be great. And I feel like that taps into when I said buy more clothes. I'm like,
hold up now.
What if I had more quality clothes that aligned with my style? Maybe I wouldn't want more. Like that's a whole situation. But from this episode,
don't try to speed off of it now. Houses, cars, clothes. Yep, that's you.
In summary, in this particular episode, we see that we all have a desire to sometimes have our hands in a lot of things, but after a while, when you get to a certain level of leadership, you don't want to feel like you're always doing all the things and you have to do so much to contribute to the success of your company. So some ways that we shared in this episode is that you can utilize AI. You can also build proper structures. Sometimes you can detach yourself from what is happening, and you can clarify your systems and what it is that you're doing, so you can build better and more efficiently. I think as we end this episode,
and I'm kind of sad that the episode is closing.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Before we go, what are some things that people should think of, leaders should consider in finding out, like, okay, what are some things I can change or put on the table to make this a better process for me and my business?
Yeah, I think one of those things is asking yourself, what am I doing right now that no longer serves the season that I'm in? Because maybe you've outgrown this season. Maybe your company has outgrown this season. Maybe you've outgrown the current processes and systems that you have. So what are you doing right now that doesn't contribute to your success?
And a second question would be, where am I overworking instead of maximizing? Because a lot of times it's like, oh, let's just keep going. But are we using every leverage point, or in your words, because you like things, differently, where am I overworking instead of optimizing? I like to maximize. You like to optimize.
I'm made to maximize. Don't get it twisted, okay? And last question would be, what is one system you could implement today in your business that would be a game changer for you and really reduce the stress and the effort and the grind that you have contributed to your company?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, these are questions that you can pause. You might see them on the screen and see that written out. But with this, the goal is to take a moment to be introspective. And as you're thinking about those, if you have a solution in-house, or if AI is a solution for that, plug it in, use it. But if you need help seeing yourself in your situation on how you're going to get out and how you're going to get to the next step, book a free call with us.
Yeah.
At madetomaximize.com, we always have free discovery calls, and you can literally click. And with that, you have an opportunity to connect, and we can dive into how we can help.
Yeah. So we pray this message has blessed you and honestly helped you to see how you've been overworking, you've been putting in too much grind, and you can just kind of relinquish so that you can see more impact within your business. So until next time, peace and love.
Love and peace.